What are your thoughts on the allegations against Jay-Z?
That was interesting. When I was saying things, not knowing exactly what I was saying, but I was going, where's Jay at? He's mad quiet. Like while the Puffy thing was going on. But it's obvious now that his team was being made aware that he was in those allegations also. So I hope it works out, because with his family, the things that go on internally is that those accusations are crazy.
There's an accusation about Jay-Z and Diddy and a teenager, 13-year-old teenager. Right. And we were speaking about just the statement.
Right.
The statement, you were saying you felt like that was calculated.
The statement is something you can tell it was written by a lawyer. Because there's a point where it kind of gets aggressive. He says, you're gonna find out, like how I'll handle this. They were saying the NFL has some issues with me that I don't know what those issues are.
Puff was first he was amping him to get style. Then he was like, when we gonna get the chance to kick it, we could just hang out.
I took a pill, but it was for me to perform better. For her to remember, buddy. I didn't give her a drink so she forget what the fuck happened.
Jay-Z told Dr. Dre or Eminem that he didn't want you to perform part of that Super Bowl they had a couple years ago.
Like when Nori he had communication. He said, yeah, so I talked to the big homie.
50 always been competition for Jay. Remember, I'm about $1. What the 50 Cent? Then remember Jay said,
50 Cent is coming. 4 months later in the club hit and it was over.
And come on, 50's he's on a whole nother level. He came after Jay and Rockefeller, G-Unit came.
I wasn't in the ad because of Jay-Z and them was putting it together. So I think they still harbor some energy.
Welcome to new viral drama, where Hollywood's darkest secrets don't just leak. They detonate with drama, receipts, and straight up madness caught in 4K. Did Jay-Z just send a warning shot at 50 Cent? The streets are talking and it's loud. After 50 Cent aired out some dirty laundry in that new Diddy expose, it looks like Hav ain't trying to play nice anymore. Whispers are turning into roars. Folks are saying Jay is ready to clap back. No more Mr. Businessman. So what exactly did 50 say to get him that heated? This is turning into a heavyweight grudge match, and the gloves are definitely off. Stick around, because we're unpacking all the chaos, the behind-the-scenes shade, and the fallout that could reshape the whole rap game. If you're addicted to messy music industry drama and real tea, hit that subscribe button, turn your notifications on, and let's get messy. Now let's dive into this wild storm brewing between 50 Cent, Diddy, and yes, even Jay-Z is being pulled into the fire. You already know 50 doesn't miss a chance to clown Diddy, especially now that Diddy's name is blowing up in all the wrong ways. After his high-profile arrest on major charges, we're talking exploitation and racketeering, 50 hit Instagram with the heat. He posted a throwback from his Drew Barrymore show appearance and slid in a slick jab about the March raid on Diddy's mansion. Yup, he's trolling again, but this time, it's different. The shade hit nerves, and now Jay-Z's name is getting dragged into the storm. And trust, the tension is building by the hour.
You said to Eminem that NFL has some issues with me. I don't know what those issues are. What is the issue? Why don't I have an issue when I'm becoming a partner in the actual team, but they got an issue with my performance?
He says things, he doesn't even know what he's saying is fruity. He says something fabulous and he goes, no, but me and you, we ain't party. We need to party. What are you talking about? When people say that to me, I get a little uncomfortable.
Sean Carter is worse.
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy.
There's only one person.
I'm going.
And I call him Sean. That's Jay-Z. We call each other Sean.
Okay.
Yeah. Nobody else could call me Sean.
He's the only person who's Sean approved.
There's not a single person that
outside of family.
That should be outside of my mother.
Okay, just
that should be calling me. Yeah, they should be calling me Sean.
He knew exactly what I meant because he'd been standing next to something his entire career.
Right.
He stood next to Biggie. He put hot on him. I stand next to the fighters he won. Right. He stood next to Mace. He stood next to Ja. Look, Puffy might be the destination for anybody going no. Oh no, I don't know that was going on.
I
can't wait to run into him again.
See, what you gonna say to him?
Puffy was playing with your.
Here I am with the lovely Drew Barrymore, and guess what? I don't have 1,000 bottles of lube lying around at home. That's what 50 Cent wrote in his caption. Petty, bold, and straight up savage. But he didn't stop there. 50 kept the shots coming with a mysterious video that's now got the internet in full-blown detective mode. In the clip, he dropped some sly hints suggesting that Jay-Z might have been a guest at Diddy's now infamous secret parties, the ones surrounded by wild rumors and even wilder accusations. Fans didn't miss that little breadcrumb, and now folks are questioning just how tight Jay and Diddy really are. See, Diddy's always bragged about how close he is with Hov. He once said only a handful of people even call him by his real name, and Jay is one of them. That's supposed to be inner circle status. And if you check Diddy's company site, Combs Global, there's still a huge photo of him and Jay-Z front and center like they're brothers in arms. But with 50 stirring up suspicions, people are giving that brotherhood some serious side eye. So now the question is 50 just trolling for attention, or is he trying to crack open a whole new layer of this Diddy-Jay-Z connection?
Lawsuit coming with Jay, the part with Jay. I go, oh shoot, like,
That's right. To us, black excellence, right?
that had to be there.
We getting tighter, you know what I'm saying? And united we stand, and ain't nothing else.
Black excellence, they're sitting there like, yeah. It's the billionaire brunch.
Oh,
Like,
I hate you, man.
unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm gonna be with you is this year.
Yeah,
Come on, bro.
That's
It is. But I just got a call and Puffy's confirmed for Shreveport.
That's what?
Look, when Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those fucking trophies, those fucking trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right.
Cause the timing ain't random. And let's not ignore the backdrop here. Cassie's bombshell lawsuit against Diddy dropped some nasty allegations that shook the whole industry. Since then, it feels like Diddy's world is unraveling piece by piece, and 50 is gleefully narrating the collapse. And now Jay-Z's name is neck deep in the drama. The long-standing beef between him and 50 Cent that's been bubbling under the surface for over 20 years is boiling over again, and this time, the timing couldn't be juicier. Let's not act brand new. 50's been throwing shots at Jay forever. He once clowned Jay for buying his success and said their whole competition was rigged from the start. Then there was that wild moment when 50 dragged Jay for calling himself Jehovah.
He's the only person who's Sean approved. There's not a single person that
outside
should be,
of family.
That should be outside of my mother.
Okay, just
that should be calling me. Yeah, they should be calling me Sean.
I started Big L when I was 14 years old. You didn't know that, Sean.
You're gonna pay me in full. I got your boy Diddy by the nut.
50 Cent said yesterday.
50 might have got notified a little early because he was talking shit about it before it came out.
They say lawyer likening himself to Jesus. Yup, the 2009 Rolling Stone interview where 50 accused Jay of having a king complex still has fans talking to this day. But that wasn't even the worst of it. 50 also threw shade over how Jay allegedly left people like Beanie Siegel in the dust just to level up in the industry. That betrayal talk hit hard, especially in hip-hop where loyalty's everything. So now with 50 hinting at Jay's links to Diddy's shady world, people are starting to wonder if there's way more to this story than just trolling. So what's the real play here? Is 50 just pushing buttons for laughs, or is he using all this chaos to expose something huge about these elite friendships? One thing's clear, the drama is thick and Jay's silence ain't helping. Meanwhile, with Diddy getting rocked by some of the most serious accusations in music history, 50 is going all in. To drive his point straight through the headlines, 50 is now teaming up with Netflix to drop a documentary on Diddy's alleged crimes. The title, Diddy Do It? Savage, slick, and straight to the point. This war is just getting started. Netflix ain't playing with this one, and neither is 50 Cent. His upcoming documentary, Netflix O'Kissy, is digging into some of the darkest, most disturbing allegations to ever hit the music industry. Spearheaded by Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, this project is about to pull back the curtain on the real chaos behind the luxury facade.
What are your thoughts on the allegations against Jay-Z?
That was interesting. When I was saying things not knowing exactly what I was saying, but I was going with like, where's Jay at? He's mad quiet. Like while the Puffy thing was going on. But it's obvious now that his team was being made aware that he was in those allegations also. You know, so I hope it works out, because with his family, the things that go on internally is that those accusations are crazy.
I've been nominated for 13 Grammys.
Right.
and have no trophies. That's why I made a statement about Taylor Swift. Like I said, if I was actually up there, he wouldn't come take my trophy.
Right.
Kanye West.
Mm-hmm.
And Jay disagrees.
Jay said nobody's scared of 50. That's what the quote was.
Yeah, but that really, he should address the guy who made him feel like a punk. Like, you know how rock and roll has punk rock? You know, hip hop has cool punk. Jay's the coolest punk in hip hop. Kanye would not take a trophy from me. Neither Jay-Z.
Right.
Neither one of them.
What would you have?
No, we'd have had altercation right there.
The doc is set to explore heavy, spine-chilling claims. We're talking human exploitation, racketeering, sexual assault, and brutal mistreatment allegedly tied to Sean Diddy Combs. And this ain't just some gossip reel. It's being directed by Alexandria Stapleton, and it's already deep into production. Yeah, they've been working on this behind the scenes while the rest of the world was still catching up. In a bold statement to Variety, both 50 and Stapleton laid it out plain. This isn't about clickbait or messy sound bites. It's about real people and the trauma that's been buried for decades. They made it clear, Diddy's scandals aren't the whole story of hip-hop. They want to shine a light on the culture's impact, the voices that have been silenced, and make sure the art, the movement, the legacy doesn't get dragged down by one man's alleged mess.
Jay-Z told Dr. Dre or Eminem that he didn't want you to perform part of that Super Bowl they had a couple years ago.
Like when Nori he had communication. He said, yeah, I talked to the big homies.
I hit the homie, Jay-Z, right? Who is the people that's on NFL? And he said to me, the white guy called for 50 Cent.
Then you said to Eminem that NFL has some issues with me. I don't know what those issues are. Like, what is the issue? Why I don't have an issue when I'm becoming a partner in the actual team, but they got an issue with my performance. Like, makes no sense.
50 always been competition for Jay. Remember, I'm about $1 with the 50 Cent. Then remember Jay said,
50 Cent is coming. 4 months later, and the club hit, and it was over.
And come on, 50's like, he's on a whole nother level. He came after Jay and Rockefeller, G-Unit came.
You don't have a new song out that he wanted to be on the top 10 or top 5, and you still competing. It just don't make sense.
50 is executive producing the whole thing under his G-Unit film and television banner, teaming up with Stapleton's House of Nonfiction and Texas Crew Productions. That's a serious squad ready to shake the industry to its core. But here's where it gets even spicier. They actually teased this project back in early December, right when Diddy got slammed with lawsuits from not 1, not 2, but 4 different women. The first bombshell, Cassie Ventura. Her lawsuit was the match that lit the fire, and although Diddy tried to put it out with a fast settlement, it only made folks wonder, what was he so scared of? And right in the middle of all that chaos, 50 posted a clip on X, formerly Twitter, showing Bad Boy Records' very own Mark Curry. And that video had people talking. Mark Curry dropped a bomb when he claimed that Diddy used to spike bottles of champagne at his parties before handing them off to women. Yeah, that's the level of twisted we're talking about here.
Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually. But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
What makes you so absolutely sure that these kinds of allegations that we've seen against him are true?
Well, I'm surprised by the allegations, as surprised as everyone else is. Like, I didn't make the allegations. I didn't tell people to say these things. It comes out, I see it in the news like everyone else. But I did feel uncomfortable with the way you would present the idea of going to these projects.
To come party with me.
Yeah.
The fact that someone from inside the bad boy circle is saying this, that's next level disturbing. But here's one detail that deserves real respect. Proceeds from this docuseries are going directly towards supporting victims of sexual assault. So while 50 Cent is out here dragging Diddy publicly, he's also using this moment to actually uplift survivors and bring attention to the real pain behind the headlines. That move, straight up powerful. Now let's flip back to the storm swirling around Jay-Z and Diddy, because fans are connecting dots and the picture isn't looking too pretty. There's been serious buzz about how both of them are being talked about lately, and honestly, the similarities are starting to make people uncomfortable. Accusations keep piling up about how both men allegedly use their influence to control, silence, or push people out of the spotlight. And when it comes to Diddy, Jaguar Wright ain't holding back. She painted a haunting portrait, saying that way too many people tied to Diddy have either vanished from the music scene, fallen on hard times, or mysteriously gotten sick.
You didn't realize
as much stuff was coming. Like when I seen today, it was allegations of 3 men that said he drugged them, and It's a long time, to be honest with you. Like, when people don't remember being violated for 20 years, it makes me feel a little odd.
50. Speaking of, in particular, Netflix docuseries that you've been working on, Diddy Do It.
Right.
You've been saying for years that you feel you knew Diddy's character.
Right.
Yet you said you weren't a part of that lifestyle, you weren't going to the parties. So what makes you so absolutely sure that these kinds of allegations that we've seen against him are true?
Well, I'm surprised by the allegations, as surprised as everyone else is. Like, I didn't make the allegations. I didn't tell people to say these things. It comes out, I see it in the news like everyone else. But I did feel uncomfortable with the way you would present the idea of going.
Sean Carter is worse.
Uh-oh. Oh, man.
He's smarter. He's patient. He's not sloppy.
Now, for a guy as rich and powerful as Diddy, that pattern's got people spooked. Because let's be real, when that many lives unravel around one man, fans start asking questions, and they're not letting up. And now the internet's digging deeper into Jay-Z's circle, and what they're finding. It's got folks shook. People are starting to question how many rising stars seem to fade after crossing paths with Hav. It ain't just about rap battles or business moves. It's about artists who vanished without warning, got shelved, or ended up broke after being mentored by the mogul himself. One name that keeps getting tossed around, Beanie Siegel. Once one of Rockefeller's hardest voices, he's spoken openly about feeling used by Jay. Fans still remember when Beanie said Jay-Z left him behind when things got hot, like he was disposable. And it doesn't stop there. Other former Roc Nation artists have hinted that once they stopped being useful, they were ghosted too.
They can control Jay-Z and Beyonce.
But not you, man.
But they can't control me.
Not
You
you.
ain't no name I won't name.
Exactly.
It's up.
He knew exactly what I meant because he'd been standing next to something his entire career.
Right.
He stood next to Biggie. You put hot on him. That's stand next to the fighter you want, right? You stood next to Mace. You stood next to Jock. Look, Puffy might be the destination for anybody going over. Oh, no, I don't know that was going on.
You know,
I can't wait to run into him again.
What you gonna say to him?
Puffy was playing with your...
This is bad news for Sean Combs. Any way you look at this, Stephen. Look, I'm going to let you in on a little prosecutor's secret. We all read the media, and there's two reasons for that. One of them is prosecutors are vain. We want to know what's being said about us. Are we getting good press or bad press? But the other reason is we want to see what's going on out there. You get leads, you get evidence for your cases from civil suits that are filed, from media reporting. And I guarantee you, if prosecutors have not already spoken with Ms. Graves.
The first time I ever saw Jay-Z or even heard him spit a rhyme was at an MC battle, street battle in New York. But he didn't show up as Jay-Z. He didn't show up as the hottest rapper on the street. He showed up as with, y'all don't see the lineup?
Yeah, we see the lineup. I'm just waiting to see who's next.
Jay-Z is setting Diddy up.
Now add all this to the timing. 50 Cent dropping bombs about Diddy and throwing shade Jay-Z's way while lawsuits keep stacking up. People are connecting dots, and those dots are turning into arrows pointing right at the top of the game. Meanwhile, Dame Dash, Jay's former business partner, has been speaking out loudly lately, calling the industry fake and exposing what he says was a betrayal that helped Jay rise. Dame's even hinted that more secrets might drop soon, and if that happens, the empire might not just crack, it could collapse. So the question everybody's asking now, if Diddy's house of cards is falling, could Jay-Z's be next? Let me know what you think in the comments. Is this just noise, or is hip-hop's top tier finally getting exposed from the inside out?
Something, or you would have reserved energy because you feel like you was doing it too. This is people that are looking on separation between their hardships or their the things that they got going on that would be issues, and what a celebrity's issues would be.
Wait, what does that mean?
They think all celebrities are doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Right, and when you see, if I wasn't saying anything, guess what? You could safely say that a person on the outskirts that is not involved in hip-hop culture could think that everybody in hip-hop culture is with that.
There's an accusation about Jay-Z and Diddy and a teenager, 13-year-old teenager. Right. And we were speaking about just the statement.
Right.
The statement, you were saying you felt like that was calculated.
That was, the statement is something from, you can tell it was written by a lawyer. Because there's a point where it kind of gets aggressive. He says, you're going to find out, like how I'll handle this. And that's an attorney want to be combative with another attorney. That's not like your publicist wouldn't say those things.
This is on your.
Put that up.
Yeah, this is on.
50?
Yeah, it says, I don't know what's going on, but are we still going to have the Super Bowl? I'm just asking for a friend.
Yeah, I'm asking for Kendrick. You know, I'm just trying to figure out if we're still doing everything the way. Because look, they will fall back. But they like the NFL. They won't necessarily be associated to that.
Right. Why do you not insert yourself, but you're on top of every topic, right?
Yeah, I'm just watching. I'm participating. I'm being part of culture. I'm just telling my opinion.
Right.
Look,
because you're part of the
this,
culture.
Like I can't say anything now. I'm out of it. I'm like I'm going to Dre's studio and just sit with Dre.
Right.
And then maybe I stay out of trouble.
Behind the scenes, industry insiders are whispering about something even darker, a secret pact between some of the biggest names in hip-hop to protect each other at all costs. We're talking private deals, silent payoffs, and NDAs so airtight, even former associates are scared to speak out. But now, with Diddy under the spotlight and 50 Cent going nuclear, those walls are starting to crack. Multiple insiders have started hinting that Diddy wasn't the only one throwing those infamous parties, and he definitely wasn't the only one pulling strings. There's chatter about underground recordings, shady security footage, and even burner phones being used to keep everything off the radar. And guess who's being linked to those circles? Yup, Jay-Z's name keeps popping up. Sources close to the situation claim that certain media outlets were paid off to keep quiet over the years. When artists tried to talk, stories were buried, interviews mysteriously pulled, producers blacklisted, and labels threatened, all to protect the image of a few powerful men who ran the game behind the scenes. But here's where things flip. Now that 50's pulling receipts and cameras are rolling, some of those media companies don't want to stay quiet anymore. One outlet reportedly has unreleased audio from a closed-door industry meeting that could put several top execs on blast, and it's being reviewed right now. So ask yourself, what happens when the power players can't control the narrative anymore? What happens when the secrets they spent decades hiding start leaking like wildfire? This ain't just a scandal. This is looking like the start of a full-blown industry purge.
The new lawsuit coming with Jay, the part with Jay. I go, oh shoot, like
Right. To us, Black excellence, right?
that had to be there.
So we getting tighter, you know what I'm saying? And united we stand, and ain't nothing else.
Black excellence, they're sitting there like, yeah. It's the billionaire brunch. You're like,
I hate you, man.
unaware of anything going on here. This is the one time I'm gonna be with you this year. Come on, bro.
A word or a sentence. Eminem, the best. Lloyd Banks, cool. Tony Yayo, that's my boy.
Loyalty.
50 Cent, the rapper.
Still got it, man.
50 Cent, the television producer.
Just getting going.
Future.
Oh, talent.
Nas.
The best.
Jay-Z.
Good business.
So they together, but they living separate. And part of the reason why they're already living separate lives, and we may actually see one of the biggest divorces in Hollywood, is because Jay-Z's up next to be exposed.
When Jay signed his contract, the big one was with Beyonce. When he signed that contract, the marriage contract, he got trophies. Now those trophies came rolling in, buddy. He started getting Grammys left and right, man. I mean, look, if you look at his career,
You're gonna let him say that? Jay was getting Grammys.
He had one.
Exactly.
He had one.
And he ain't show up.
He has like 20 now.
Hold on.
He had like 18 since he been down. Look, he had one, bro. Hard Knock Life.
You're not wrong.
After that, he got some shit. He started drinking. He thinks the cup.
Wait a minute. So you're saying the success is derived from the marriage?
I've absolutely been treated differently.
The accolades.
Because he's no longer viewed as like a street or gangster rapper. Now he's viewed as a businessman, entrepreneur, family man.
And the biggest ones because of the position Beyonce's.
Oh, wow.
Says things, he doesn't even know what he's saying is like fruity. He says something fabulous and he goes, yo, no, but me and you, we ain't party. Like, we need to party. What are you talking about? When people say that to me, I get a little uncomfortable. Like, when you see Jay the Kid put his head down, like,
while we stuck here right now, and the cameras is rolling. Everybody see. Don't make like it's just me, man. Fluffy do some like a little fluffy stuff
Now
going
you guys
on. Like he said something to me one time, a long time ago. He told me he'd take me shopping. I looked at him like, what'd you just say? Let me move, man, before I do something. You gonna make me mess up the wedding. Let me get out of no, dude, you take me. That's what a guy says to a girl.
I asked 50 about that, and he said you did the same thing to him. You asked him to take him shopping.
Yeah, I thought he needed some clothes. What? I'm a nice guy. I don't have no beef with Fifth. He loves me. Y'all can't see that he loves me? You really, hold on, you really think that's hate? You know he loves me.
I don't think he like it.
You know he loves me.
I don't think. Did he do it, right?
Yeah.
I know you've been heavy on social media talking about it.
He did it. And I'm the only one who's been vocal about this long before it actually. But I also didn't participate. I also didn't go to those parties.
Yeah.
So a lot of the celebrity culture that you don't hear saying anything is because they participated.
Was there a reason you never went to those parties back in the day?
I'm just not with all that flicky shit. Like all of the stuff that he's doing, I'm not into that type of stuff. I'm just a little more, maybe you could say basic or normal.
As more names get pulled into this growing web of secrets, one thing's clear, the silence is breaking. What started as rumors and side-eye on social media is now turning into hard conversations, legal action, and public accountability. Diddy's facing the heat, Jay-Z's legacy is being questioned, and 50 Cent, he's not backing down. He's doubling up. With lawsuits flying, documentaries rolling, and fans connecting the dots faster than ever, the industry's untouchables are starting to look very touchable. And don't forget, we're still waiting to see if that unreleased footage 50 hinted at actually drops. If it does, it could blow the roof off everything we thought we knew about music's elite. This isn't just about drama anymore. It's about power, silence, and what happens when people refuse to stay quiet any longer. We're watching a cultural shift play out in real time, and the faces we once praised might be the same ones being held accountable on the world stage. So buckle up, because this ride ain't slowing down anytime soon. More receipts are coming, more names might get exposed, and we're going to be right here breaking it down as it happens. If you want to stay one step ahead of the chaos, don't forget to subscribe, like, drop a comment, and share this video with someone who needs to catch up on all the madness. Let us know your thoughts. Do you think more powerful names are about to fall? Or are these just the same games being played by a new generation? Thanks for watching New Viral Drama, and we'll see you on the next video.